When you're ready to start your business, Northwest Registered Agent gives you access to thousands of free guides, tools, and legal forms. Everything you need to launch and protect your business in one place. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping small business owners and entrepreneurs launch and grow businesses for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the U.S., with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your local laws and can help you in your business every step of the way. Plus, with Northwest, privacy is automatic. They never sell your data and handle all services in-house because privacy by default is their pledge to customers. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit northwestregisteredagent.com/OFD-free and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at northwestregisteredagent.com/OFD-free. This is Optimal Finance Daily, The Golden Rule of Personal Finance by Jesse Cramer of bestinterest.blog. The Leaning Tower of Pisa has a foundational problem. It's 186 feet tall and weighs 14,500 tons. But its foundation is only 10 feet deep and built into silt and clay. 5 years after construction, about 1178 AD, the foundation shifted and the tower famously leaned. Oops. Every building needs a strong foundation. It applies to all buildings of all sizes in all locations. This brings us to the golden rule of personal finance, one that applies to all people at all levels of income. Spend less than you earn. I know, you think you know what I'm talking about. But in my ever-growing experience in personal finance, most people think they know this idea, but they've not truly internalized it. It's a foundational rule we too often ignore. We know the stories of former athletes or Hollywood stars who file for bankruptcy. How is that possible? Simple, they spent more than they earned. But surely someone with 100 million should be able to not spend all their money. I get it, but overspending behavior is the classic slippery slope. Just as buildings of all sizes see foundational issues, people across the wealth spectrum struggle with overspending. I have a friend of a friend who played Division I football and eventually made it to the NFL, but his family was dirt poor growing up. I thought this admission was so profound. Quote, "We were so poor. There was never much money, but the money that was there, it always quickly disappeared. You got used to this idea that money is scarce and never sticks around. So whenever I got money as a kid, it was like, spend it now or you might not get another chance to spend it. Boom. And I had a big list of things I wanted to spend money on. It's like a perfect storm. So now I just want to spend everything, save nothing. I don't trust saving because I've never actually seen it work." End quote. Here's a guy making millions, but his financial foundation was only inches deep, not nearly strong enough to support a large income. Our brains work against us. This is a foundational lesson from behavioral economics. We criticize others for overspending, but find ways to justify our own similar behavior. We say, if I earned another 20%, then I'd start saving more money. But when the 20% comes, we buy clothes that are 20% softer, houses that are 20% bigger, or meals that are 20% more organic. The slope remains slippery all the way down. If you're a global touring music star partying at the club, you justify a $10,000 bottle of champagne. If you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you justify owning a tiger. We all struggle to say enough. No way, you say. I just don't get it. I'd never own a tiger. You're not alone. I don't get it either. I'm with you. But a few weeks ago, Kelly and I spent $125 on a dinner for two. A nice treat, right? But a big part of the US population would look at our dinner and say, no way. I just don't get it. That's a full week of groceries or a month of gas. I'd never spend that on one meal. A smaller segment of the population would say, you call $125 a nice dinner? How quaint. My point is, overspending and comparison happen to all people at all income levels. We all spend money and all judge others on what they spend. Most of all, we all look at people richer than us and think, if I were them, I'd be all set. because I'd never spend money like they do on that thing. Getting back to foundational fundamentals, I don't care what people spend money on. Meals, cars, tigers, though I'm not sure there's an ethical way to own a tiger. Because the key is spending less than you earn. Preferably spending much less than you earn. I ensure I'm doing this through my budget and net worth tracking. In my experience, most people, including myself at times, pay lip service to spend less than you earn. Don't worry, you're only human. But if you want financial success, you'll eventually have to back up that lip service with real action. You'll need to dig deep and build a financial foundation that supports your current and future life. On the spending front, remind yourself of this simple truth. Advertisers convince you that buying stuff will make you happy. Actual psychological research provides no such evidence. It might, in fact, make you unhappy. You want to spend less? Remind yourself that you've probably been brain hacked by advertising. I know I have. Into thinking that more spending equals more happiness. I don't like that I've been brain hacked. I resent it. So out of spite towards advertisers, I actively fight my impulse to spend. It's a struggle. I have to dig deep, just like digging a foundation. But if you want to build a strong financial life, that's where it starts. A strong foundation. Spend less than you earn. You just listened to the post titled The Golden Rule of Personal Finance by Jesse Cramer of bestinterest.blog.
All these patients complaining they can't get their medicines. Insurers and PBMs are often owned by the same giant company, so middlemen, like me, decide what medicines you can get and how much you pay. But don't worry, if your prescription gets denied, we know another one that works for us. I mean, you.
Washington should stop PBMs and insurers from driving up drug costs. Learn more at phrma.org/insurer costs. Paid for by Pharma.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I completely agree with this golden rule, but I would add just one little thing to the end. Spend less than you earn and invest the difference. Our wealth is built in the gap between our income and our expenses, but we have to put that gap to work. Our money can work way harder than we can at making us more money through the power of compound interest and our assets appreciating over time. But in order for that to happen, we need to buy income-generating assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate. I love that Jesse acknowledges how we all tell ourselves we'll behave differently with our money once we're making more of it. I certainly used to tell myself that. I didn't save, invest, or worry about my debt in my 20s because I was convinced that I'd be making millions one day and it wouldn't matter. Well, my income isn't close to $1 million, but my net worth is halfway there. It's important to remember that having more money doesn't magically increase your level of financial literacy. If you can't manage $1,000, then you definitely can't manage $1 million. And this golden rule of spending less than you earn applies no matter how much money you do or don't have. And that will do it for today. Have a happy rest of your day, and I'll see you on the Friday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.